Okay, we're going to start off this Season 5 cast review by not talking about the drag queen in particular, but the male alter ego. Who is the sexiest guy on the show? Male alter ego. His real name is Andy Trinidad. Huge crush on him. Huge crush on him. He is so cute. Now, shut your whore mouth. Okay. Anyway, back to Lenaia. Lenaia did not look like a Greek goddess at all in this video. In the teaser videos where it's revealing the cast, she's supposed to look like a Greek goddess. And I don't get Greek goddess at all from this. I get like African tribal queen. Which, because this little challenge before the season starts, just to do the cast bio, some of these queens were having a really hard time grasping the concept of what a Greek goddess is. So I think that might hinder some of them. But I've heard a lot of people talking online about Lenaia. Lenaia is exotic and pretty. I mean, she's a pretty drag queen. But again, like I said, much sexier out of drag. But not everyone agreed. There were some people that were just really, really mean. Homorazi, the blog, actually said that Lenaia Sparks was a horrible drag name to begin with. And some other blogs, like I was reading on Tumblr, didn't think that Andy looked so hot out of drag. They said he looked like an insect, a creature. First of all, there's no way that Andy could look like an insect. To look like an insect, Andy would have to have compound eyes. Okay. This is Andy. Here would be Andy's. Oh, let's just give Andy a body. Okay. To look like an insect. Andy would have to kind of look like this. So for the mean people that said that Andy looked like an insect, Andy does not have compound eyes. See, that's not Andy. Oh, and he would also have to have... Oh, and... that would look like a really cool drag queen, but that's not Andy. In my opinion, Roxy Andrews is the sexiest drag queen out of this entire group. Now, a lot of the rest of them are sexy, and pretty, and fishy, but Roxy Andrews, right here in Florida, her stomping grounds is Orlando, Florida. I think she is probably the fishiest and the prettiest of the entire group. Heard rumors. These are just rumors. Heard rumors that she makes it to the top 4. And I do think that she probably will make it into the top 4. For me, this was a toss-up between Coco Montrice and Jinx Monsoon. We've always believed that if you're ever in doubt, you always go with familiarity. And Coco Montrice, even though she hails from Las Vegas, Nevada for the show, she spent most of her life doing drag right here in Florida, right here in the Tampa Bay area in St. Petersburg. So I've actually seen Coco doing shows and everything. And she's very funny, often unintentionally funny, but she is a very funny queen. So I really think that she's probably the Pandora box of this season. I also think Coco will make it into the top 4. It's kind of hard to judge class and professionalism just from the little videos they have on the web and from YouTube. But out of all the queens, I think that Monica Beverly Hills probably seemed the most professional to me. However, that goddess video did not scream Greek goddess to me. And like I've said with some of the other queens, I think that may cause so, because if you screw up in this early part of the competition, even before the competition begins, and you don't do Greek goddess when you're asked to do Greek goddess, that might be a problem. So I think she might end up going home probably the first few weeks. Now, out of all the queens, this is really hard, actually, because a lot of the looks were great. Just about all the looks were great. But I think out of everyone in this Greek goddess look that they were trying to do for the video, I think Vivian had the fiercest look. But, here's the but. Again, I don't think that it was Greek goddess realness as much as it was Amazon rainforest tribal warrior fierceness. She had a spear and like a dress made out of feathers. She had like a little tiara thing with feathers. I guess that look made it look Greek. But overall, I just don't think that this looked Greek to me. It was fierce, but it didn't look Greek. I think Vivian Panay may go home first 4 weeks. Now, all the queens are a little bit on the crazy side, it seems, this season, or they tried to be in their goddess videos. But this one was hands down. One of the early favorites for this season, way before they even started casting, was Alaska Thunderfuck. Sharon Needles' boyfriend. A lot of people are saying, oh, you know, I don't really think that Alaska can get very far because we already had one Sharon Needles, we don't need another. That's assuming, at least people are assuming, that Alaska is just like Sharon Needles, and I don't think that's the case. I think Sharon has her own style, which is more like shock and zombies and vampires and monsters and ghouls and all that crap. Did I say crike? I don't even know what the word. I think Alaska is more of your sci-fi, supernatural, science fiction type thing. Because her website, she has this whole backstory about how she came to be a drag queen. And she crash landed from a UFO in Alaska, and that's how she got the name Alaska. She's kind of quirky and kind of crazy. Not Tammy Brown crazy, but Sharon Needles crazy. In that regard, they're very similar. I think Alaska will be in the top 4 in my opinion. Now, nothing personal here, because I think she's pretty and all, but I just keep forgetting that Ivy Winters is even supposed to be on the show. As a New York queen, you would think that more would be expected of a New York queen, and we would know more about Ivy Winters. There's very little information that we can find online. There's very little on YouTube. A lot less than the other queens. I just keep forgetting her. In the Goddess video, she stood there for the first 10 seconds of the video and just kind of vogued to the camera and laughed hysterically and didn't really give us any information for the first 10 seconds of the video. That's when you're supposed to make a really good first impression. And I didn't get it. It's, like I said, nothing personal. If I keep forgetting about her before the season begins and I'm just ravished for information about these queens and I can barely find anything, if I keep forgetting her, I worry that the judges might forget her very early on in the competition too. I'm thinking she might be in the bottom 4 and might go the first 4 weeks. It's no surprise to anyone considering that this queen was very early favorite to come on the show when they first started casting, and is regarded by a lot of people as probably the most likely to win, is Detox. That's all you need to know, Detox. Another Florida queen from here in Central Florida. All of the really good queens seem to be clustered right in Central Florida this year. And again, I think Detox will be in the top 4. That's another Florida queen. We're banking a lot on these Florida queens this year. But I think Detox, even though she's now in Los Angeles and she partnered up with Willem for the Chow Down at Chick-fil-A video, she has a national exposure that is needed to win this competition. So she's an early favorite for, I think, everybody. I think everybody likes her and everybody will root for her to win. Heard rumors that she makes the top 4 but not the top 3, which is kind of unfortunate. But I'm Team Detox. Team Detox. Now, it's true that with age comes experience and wisdom, usually. So, for that reason, I believe that Penetration is probably going to be the smartest one of the queens. She'll probably make some of the wisest decisions. Penetration is actually the Facebook fan favorite, that's how she ended up getting on the show. So she's got a lot to prove. Let's hope she does better than Pandora Box did when we voted her on to All-Stars. Okay, hold on. I think that if looking like an African queen with your arms in a strange position makes you a Greek goddess, and Serena Chacha is the most exotic one. Sorry, I don't have a paintbrush, or I kind of got the reason why she was like that, because she was holding a paintbrush. But, I mean, it just, in her Greek goddess video, it just didn't look like a Greek goddess. It kind of just looked like she was trying to do the robot. And at the end of the video, she finally dropped her arms, and she could move. Here I was thinking that she was in a cast or her arms were disabled. I don't know. I didn't like the look for the Greek Goddess video. I liked her and her personality. I really hope she goes far. I kind of have a feeling, like with the other queens that didn't quite get this Greek Goddess thing, she looked like she was from Africa. And I'm not talking about Cleopatra, Africa, which might have worked for the Greek Goddess Challenge. It just looked like Sub-Saharan African. And that did not work. For that reason, I think Serena Chacha might be going home in the first 4 weeks. Out of all the queens, Alyssa Edwards was the one who told us the most about her life and her entire backstory. And she was very relatable. Now, me being a gay uncle and having gay nieces and nephews, it really touched me. I was more relatable to Alyssa Edwards. She's also from the South. She's from Texas, Dallas, Texas. I'm from Virginia, which is not like Texas, but it's very similar. I felt more relatable to Alyssa Edwards than any of the other queens. The most delightfully funny and kind of dumb, in a way, the way she carried herself, was J. Jolie, which I think is actually going to be a benefit to J. Jolie. J. Jolie is from here in Florida, from Gainesville, and she's very colorful. Like, if you want to go shopping for nice drag clothes, it looks like J. Jolie might be your girl. I mean, her looks were off the chain. I kind of like her. She might be an early favorite of mine to go quite far. Jinx Monsoon came pretty close to being the funniest queen, in my opinion. Loved the video. Jinx Monsoon was pretty funny. Now, there's something about the look, though, that is kind of off-putting. It is kind of Tammy Brownish. But I think her humor might be able to carry Jinx Monsoon quite far. Mahogany. I think Honey Mohogany, I know Ru because she grasps onto the pop culture, and she'll turn these little catchphrases when the contestants are on the runway. I'm fairly certain that Honey Mohogany is going to drive us nuts with those Hunger Game references. But other than that, I like Honey Mohogany. Honey Mohogany actually tried out for the X Factor. Just auditioned, didn't get very far. Another drag queen that was in the San Francisco auditions didn't go quite far. Not quite far, but just advanced around. But Honey Mohogany, out of all the queens, is probably the most socially active. I was noticing on the Meet the Queens video underneath, where you have the comments field where you can interact with by Facebook, Honey Mohogany was responding to like every single comment that people were putting on her page. If they were praising her, you know, she was responding. She was like, oh, thank you very much, I love you, blah, blah, blah. She really loves her fans. And I think Honey Mohogany might be one of the most likable and most personable queens, which will kind of offset that annoying catchphrase that we're sure to be hearing every single freaking week from Ru.